Welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday night, and I hope you're having a happy night. If you're not happy for some reason, you might be going through your own personal issues, whether it's divorce, whether it's you lost your job, you're unemployed, or maybe the bank's taking your house, or you're living on the street. God bless you, and remember, tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow, go out and forget about your problems and reach out to people who are going through some worse problems. Maybe pop in at the Melbourne Children's Hospital. Maybe help out some people in the St Kilda homes, but there's always people out there worse than our stupid problems. And I always think the third world countries are leader, you know, all the people dying and the kids dying. And
I don't even need to do that. Like, I need to just go back to Newcastle, where I'm lucky to have a roof over my head there. And,
well,
yeah,
we might have to send you back there.
Yes, well, I've been there quite recently, actually.
Keep on misbehaving.
I'm always misbehaving. I'm always back there.
I'll just send you back to Newcastle.
I do agree. Like, there's always someone in a worse situation, and you know, it's just.
I just get these people coming in all the time, blokes in their 50s, and they're just blaming everybody. They still haven't taken responsibility, you know. You know, they're behind on the rent, and the third wife left them, and this happened, and not once do you hear, I mucked up. It's always someone else, and that really...
I'm just mystified that the third wife, any wives would want these blokes. How can they get a third wife?
Well, maybe they're not compatible. Some people just aren't compatible, are they, Barry? Some people just, you know...
Or you can be too alike.
Yeah.
That can happen too. You're too alike. I think that's what happened with my marriage. You're too highly strung. My former wife, very highly strung. She's like a stand-up, like living with a stand-up.
Yeah.
Just funny.
Oh, extremely.
Oh, that would have been great.
I used to pinch her material.
Oh.
No,
that would have been very handy.
I couldn't second-guess what she'd ever say.
Wow.
It's got a pepped-up delivery and terribly amusing.
You guys would have been a great team.
Now, Barry, tell us, you love entertaining people. What's happening this year in your lifestyle?
Well, I've got 2 plays coming on. I wrote a play about Sylvia Plath.
Yes.
And as well as being in love with her poetry, I've written a play that's an imaginary last evening of her life. And she committed suicide in 1962.
And she was only 30.
30.
She was a very pretty young lady.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Statuesque. Big and tall.
Was she
and
German
blonde.
or English?
Jewish, Dutch.
Jewish, yes.
But gorgeous voice. If you listen on the BBC to Sylvia Plath reading the poetry, it is so... It's got a sort of that English New Hampshire collegiate. It's so... Her voice is so beautiful.
And what can we expect in Melbourne?
Well, it's a play that looks at all the difficult issues, things that you raise the spectre of on your program. You know, introspection, loneliness, alienation, despair, schizophrenia, all these terrible things were in her, and she exploited them in a way through poetry. Poetry is the only way, the only saving grace.
Yes.
And the worse she felt, the better the poetry was.
Wow.
All she wanted to do was to be deceased. She wanted to be dead every single day. And so it was a great triumph to be able to write.
Yes.
But the writing isn't gloomy. And people think wrongly, because they haven't studied her work, they think, oh, it's depressing. But it isn't. She's so frivolous too, and got the lightest touch.
She's channeled her life through
dainty.
the poem.
The poems are dainty.
Were you ever at a stage in your life when you wanted to be deceased?
No, never. Even though I'm from Reservoir.
You were down, and then how did you pick yourself up again?
I lived in Preston.
Moved to Frankston.
Then Frankston, that's right. I saw the light in Frankston.
No, how did you know, you were down. How did we get the great man back to
well, I think it's not therapy. I don't think writing is therapy. But when I wrote the memoir about my depression and the shock treatment I went through, the act of writing it did me so much good. Although I don't think it's therapy. I think it's more like pleasure than therapy. I don't like the word therapy, but I do like the word pleasure. And that's the opiate. You're
such a bloody honest bloke, aren't you?
I think writing it made me...
You're such an honest bloke.
Well, they say
exercise the
They say it helps people every day to keep like a short journal, even to write down things that upset them the day before, because just the process of getting out on paper like really helps.
And then the funny thing about myself is that I'm so stupid in so many ways. I'm good at writing, and I'm good at drawing, and I'm good at teaching. Everything else I'm not that great at. And then when I tried to rent a place, when I got out of that psychiatric hospital, I remember going to the real estate people and seeing a place in North Carlton that I really liked. I thought the rent was pretty high, but I'd won a few prizes for my scripts and I had plenty of cash. And he tinkered with the number made of wrought iron, 235 Canning Street. He just tinkered with that, and he said, "You do realise that this property is nouveau?" No, of course it wasn't. It was just 2, 3, 5. But there's something about that playfulness that I liked. And you're sort of engaging with people in real life in a theatrical way.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I moved in.
You moved in straight away.
I liked his playfulness. You know.
Isn't it amazing?
Does it, because you are so creative and so talented in all these things, do you think you're a sensitive soul too? Do you think?
I think sensitivity is a fantastic weakness.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing because...
You need it. You need it, but it is a curse too.
I find, I can be quite a sensitive person as well, but I feel you're like so successful in that area that I think you'd have to be a very sensitive person, and things can get on top of you. If you.
Well, at the Deaf College yesterday, on my shift working at the Victorian College for the Deaf, there's a little kid I can't help loving when he comes in. He's got every possible thing wrong. One foot is about 6 inches shorter than the other. His legs are like broomstick handles. His waist is like this. He's got bucky teeth. He's all out of true. His spine is like that. He comes in on calipers. He's 8. And he comes in quickly to draw with me like that. And he goes...
How cool is that?
God bless him.
Yeah.
And you just...
He lifts me. He lifts me.
Isn't that amazing?
Seeing him like that.
How can it not?
He wants to draw.
Yeah.
Let's draw.
Yeah. I saw that recently. I was on the way to Melbourne Magistrates Court. Everyone's depressed again around the city. Everyone's down, and these boys with no legs and no arms crossing the street on these little wooden devices they made, like skateboards. But they're all smiling and having a good time. I think we're just about to wrap up. You're the great man. You're a gorgeous human being.
So are you.
Thank you so much for coming on
Barry.
again.
Oh, it's a great pleasure.
Can we make it regular?
Oh, no, I'd love to.
I'm going to look
lovely.
out for Barry. I can't wait to read your plays.
You're going to inspire Melbourne to make them a bit happier.
Well, you give me a chance to speak, and I'm grateful to you.
Oh, you're lovely. And you're lovely too, because you're watching the show, and hopefully this man inspired you. We're just here to conduct the interviews, but we'll have him on again, and hopefully we'll see you down the street smiling, and have a lovely week, and God bless you, and we'll see you next Wednesday night, hopefully. All the best. Thank you, Alita.
Thank you.